What's going on, Ravens fans? Welcome into a live episode of For the Flock Rundown. I'm Ryan here with Noah, and sorry to be here on these circumstances. The Ravens finish 8-9, miss the playoffs, lose to the Steelers in a heartbreaking fashion once again. How we feeling, man?
Hey, it was a heartbreaker. No other way to put it. The season, crazy, man.
I know.
I'm trying to fathom the fact that the Ravens, they were actually this isn't a fairy tale. Like they were actually the Super Bowl favorites, like the professional bettors, the odds makers, like Super Bowl favorites. Derrick Henry coming back, Lamar Jackson coming off 41 touchdowns to 4 interceptions and should have been the MVP. You got, you know, you start 1-5, and then you're like, man, are the Ravens gonna miss the playoffs? And they rattle back, and then they're 6-5, and then we're like, all right, we're gonna be good. We got to figure out this defense. Got to get the offense and the defense play at the same time. Get healthy, right? Then we go to 7-8, and then we lose to that was after the loss to the Patriots. Then at that point, they lost control of their own destiny, and then backup quarterback Tyler Huntley goes into Green Bay. Derrick Henry runs all over them, and then the Browns give us the hope, beating the Steelers, and we're like, there is no way. We're like, Ryan, there's no way that the Baltimore Ravens aren't going to take care of business in Pittsburgh whenever DK Metcalf and Darnell Washington are both out. Dude, it's absolutely insane, the implosion that we had. We had a 10-0 lead. Did you see the stats with and without Kyle Hamilton on the field?
Yeah. If you have them, you can read them. I did. I came across it yesterday. I think I might have tossed it in my episode, actually, but it is crazy.
It's absolutely disgusting. And to me, it shows that without Kyle Hamilton on the field, here's the stats, by the way.
Yeah.
Steelers offense with Kyle Hamilton on the field, 3.9 yards per play. Without him on the field, 6.9 yards per play. So it basically doubles in yards per play. 37% success rate with Hamilton, 60% without Hamilton. So success rate nearly doubles. EPA went from negative 0.27 to positive 0.44. So literally the defense got completely destroyed.
You felt it too. You know what I mean? Like that whole second half, it was like you just felt it leaking slowly. Like, the run game's starting to go for Pitt. Like, they're getting more screen yardage with which so many plays that Kyle would usually just blow up. But I still don't. I'm not. I don't think like we should fall apart if Kyle goes out like that. Our defense is just not good enough.
No, that's the thing. That's what it showed me. Is that without Kyle Hamilton, it showed you how flawed the defense is without Kyle Hamilton.
Yep.
And how much he covers up. It's almost like sometimes we've seen with and without Lamar Jackson, the offense, like how much Lamar covers up, especially on the offensive line issues and stuff. It's like that's the same effect on defense with Kyle Hamilton. You see how flawed they really are as a unit. And it feels like, dude, I don't know about you. We're going to talk about coaching changes and stuff like that, coordinators and all that. But I don't know about you, but I just saw a report on from NFL Network, Ian Rappaport and some others were like, yeah, Zach Orr, they might bring in some help for him, but he's one of the hottest, brightest young coaches minds, in the league, young minds. I'm like, bro, are we watching the same Ravens? Like, you can't give up. What was it, Ryan? 24 points in the second half.
They scored 26, so it would have been 23, I guess.
23?
Yeah.
Points, 23 points in the second half. That's unacceptable, man.
Couldn't stop them in the fourth quarter, too. And, like, how many times are we not getting off the field in 3rd and long? Like, we got them in 3rd and long, and I was like, this is where you want every team to be. Like, any defense just wants the offense in 3rd and long, And, like, they were in 3rd and 8, 3rd and 11, and they're picking it up. It's just like, dude, it's frustrating. And it's not just the Steelers game. I think the Steelers game stings because it's recent and they were shorthanded. So I'm a little shocked that they did this without DK. You know what I mean? It's like, man,
Right.
really? We knew they were going to dink and dunk. We knew they were going to throw quick passes to the backs. We knew, like, this is obvious game plan here. And, we're still biting on a double move for Calvin Austin or
Yep.
Marlon getting, it was a perfect throw, but either way, getting mossed essentially by Thielen, or coming
Yeah.
down with a contested catch that I feel like Marlon should have broke up. And it's just like they're still moving the ball on this defense even without DK. And it's not been just this, it's really been all season. There's been the Bengals moment stands out as like, oh, the defense got it together, but there's a lot more games. If you take the sample size of the entire season, the start where our defense was atrocious in the beginning of the season, when we were 1-5, a lot of that was because of our defense was terrible and injuries, but our defense was letting up a ton of points. I think we had the worst defense in NFL history through 5 weeks. And then we got it together for a stretch of time and also went on a winning streak. And then these last few weeks, it's felt like it's leaking again. The New England game in the second half, Drake May and Diggs went crazy. We couldn't stop a single thing at the end of that game. And they're scoring. And then Green Bay, we're playing a backup quarterback, and he just throws for like 300 and can get off whatever he wants. And so it's been three straight weeks. Defense just not good enough, man.
You're right, man. Too many times. How many times has a quarterback had his best game of the season against us?
Yeah, often. It's like expected at this point. Yeah. It's like he's going to go for and some of that I get is
May, bro.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, season high. Yeah, no, it's not.
Aaron Rodgers in the first matchup, season high. Malik Willis looked like prime Mike Vick against us. Dude, our defense on the year, they finished 24th overall in yards per game. So that's terrible. I mean, you got to at least be middle of the pack. Points per game, they were bottom half of the league. Couldn't even make top. I think they're about 20th. The only thing they had going for them this year is the run defense was solid.
Yeah, but that started when Kyle went out in that Steelers game. I didn't even trust the run defense at that point.
Yep. And passing yards per game, guess where we were, Ryan?
Last.
31st.
Yeah.
Just in front of the Dallas Cowboys, averaging 247.9 yards per game allowed.
With a ton of money invested in the secondary.
Ton of money.
And draft capital.
And draft capital.
You have 3 first-round picks. Like, you know what I mean? Yep. Or actually 4 with Marlon, Kyle, Starks, Wiggins, all first-round picks. Marlon and Kyle on big deals. I'm not blaming Kyle, honestly. Like, I can take him out of the equation. I think he's our best defensive player. But, like, I'm just saying, it's not like we haven't dumped money and draft capital into this, and it's completely backfired. And obviously, we've talked about it before. I think Eric DaCosta ignoring the defensive line, pass rush, and offensive line, the interior of the game, the trenches, people call it, like that has backfired. But also it's like, my goodness, how do you have all the resources invested into the secondary, all that, and you're 31st?
Yeah. Dude, that you're exactly right, man. I don't know what else spells incompetence besides you have talent-wise one of the best secondaries in the NFL and you finish 31st. And people can say, oh, well, the pass rush is a big part of it. Yeah, that's true. But how much of the lack of pass rush is due to scheme? I mean, I saw Mike McDonald cooking up the NFL's highest sack team with like Jadeveon Clowney as our top edge rusher. Like, I don't know. It felt like there wasn't a lot of free rushes, free hitters, effective stunts. There was several players. Actually, Myles Garrett actually had more sacks by himself this year than our entire team did. Like,
that's insane, dude.
That's insane.
And 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I guess now, we led the league in sacks.
Yeah,
with Van Noy, Clowney. I guess Matabike was there. That was a big deal, obviously.
Yeah. Matabike is obviously a big loss, but it's not like we were completely void of talent.
No, our pass rush should have been better. I just feel like the defense
Yeah.
wasn't playing. I mean, now we can improve the pass rush, no doubt. Like, I think we have to
Yeah.
go hunting for more talent, but I agree with you. I don't think the line was rushing with as much strategy and cohesion. And at least the entire defense, Roquan even alluded to this in his press conference yesterday. It was kind of eye opening where he was just like, we'd be in the right call, but for some reason, all season, there's been this disconnect.
Yep.
There's been this like, I'm doing my job. Like, why are you not on this play? Why are you not playing it exactly right? And you know what I mean? And everybody's just like a little underprepared. They're not all on the same page at all times. And yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you
You know
gotta
what's
be better.
crazy to say, bro? Like, I feel like Zach Orr would be better as a head coach than he would be a defensive coordinator.
Just as like a leader of
Yeah.
men. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like he
No,
does
I like Zach Orr. I just haven't seen. I like
yeah.
Zach Orr as a player person. I just
I do
haven't
too. I love
seen.
Zach Orr. I hate to
Yeah. No,
say I think we need change for him. Like
yeah.
I root for him so hard, man. I rooted for him last year and I thought he was gonna get fired. And then week 8, turn it around. Then this year it was another terrible start. And then you still finish bottom half of the league in most statistical categories. You have the 31st passing defense with one of the best secondaries. But you can't tell me like Kyle Hamilton, top 14 draft pick, first round pick, Nate Wiggins, first round pick, Chidobe Awuzie played good football this year. Nate Wiggins, first round pick, Malachi Starks, first round pick. And then you got Roquan. Like, why did all those talent in the secondary and you put out the 31st overall passing defense? And then also, like, why does Roquan Smith look like a top 2 linebacker in the NFL with Mike McDonald? And then with Zach Orr, he looks like, oh, dude, is he falling off? Like, is he just not the same anymore? You know what I mean? Like,
I think
he's
it's
still in
both.
the
I
prime
don't
of
think
his
it's.
career.
Yeah, I think it's a little like I've noticed Roquan is. Yeah, I mean it could just be coordinator, but I think it's a little combination of his play just falling off a tiny bit too, and like the defense not playing together. I don't think they all believed that they were all on the right page at all times, and you could see it. There was just, and there's more bad than good overall too. Like when you take the 2 years, like we're not just nitpicking certain games here. Like I'm looking at 2-year sample size. Yeah, we turned it around in the back half of last year, but let's take the whole sample size. It's been way more bad than good. This is not good enough defense in Baltimore. It's just not. You know what I mean? You're not going to go very far having a 20 plus ranked defense. And no, I definitely think there has to be coordinator changes. I'm still with a head coach change too. I've been hearing a lot of the main reporters saying it's unlikely that they're moving on from Harbaugh. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I would imagine you hear something. We'll hear something soon in the next few weeks. I would imagine you can't push it too long. You know what I mean? You're going to want to interview people and look for your next guy. But yeah, all the big reporters, at least Ian Rappaport, Schefter, all those guys, they've been talking about it. I've been tuning in just to see if they had any other information. And they're essentially saying, Harbaugh's so established that they don't feel like they could probably like replace that kind of guy. So they're going to probably change at the coordinator level, which scares me a little bit.
Yeah, dude, I'll tell you what, Todd Monken, he's the least of the issues on the team.
I agree too. No, he got a bad rap because of this O-line play all year.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
People forget, like, this is what he got out of Lamar Jackson. I mean, he got over 4,000 passing yards and 41 passing touchdowns, one of the highest passer rating ever recorded last season without a star receiver. You know what I mean? Like I like Zay Flowers, but is Zay Flowers top 10 in your opinion?
And then no, not top 10 receiver, but I love Zay though. I don't want to he's an asset to our team.
Right. Yeah, I hope we bring back Zay
10.
Flowers, but I'm just saying, like, that was what he was able to produce, those type of numbers for Lamar. And then, I mean, this season, so last year, Lamar was at 66% completion percentage, 4,100 passing yards, career high, 41 passing touchdowns, career high, 4 interceptions, career low, and then a 119 passer rating, career high. This season, even with the injuries, he had a 63.6 completion percentage, 2,500 passing yards, 21 touchdowns to 7 picks, and a 103.8 rating. So still like above average numbers for a quarterback, even with the injuries. And even with poor offensive line play, you're seeing Lamar Jackson still play his best football. And I think a lot of that has to do with Todd Monken. So, and I don't know about you, man. To me, I was shocked whenever I heard them ask about, do you think John Harbaugh should be the coach? And Lamar Jackson says, I can't answer that right now.
Yeah, Ronnie had a weird question too.
Yeah.
Or a weird response to it, kind of like, hey, that's out of my hands. Like I wasn't seeing a ton of defense. Yeah.
No,
If
there
that's
was
where you were
nobody that
going,
was
if
like,
that's where you were going. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, there was nobody that was like, yeah, we love Harbaugh. He's got our backs. We got his back. Like, we want him back. He's the right guy for the team. Like, nobody said that.
Right.
Which is really concerning.
Yeah, I think they're all searching for answers too, and they feel that disconnect. They feel that underperformance. I mean, this team shouldn't be 8-9. You know what I mean? Yes, we under-resourced the trenches. There's no doubt about that. I think that's a mistake. We've been saying that for 2 years, but it's even with this team, they're not. They shouldn't be 8-9. It was an underperformance this season. So, I think the best moves to make a change, and if you make a change with Harbaugh, it probably comes with Monken and Orr as well. Obviously, going, a new head coach usually wants to bring in his own guys. But I agree with you. I do think Monken is the least issue in the coaching staff. You can nitpick at some of the red zone issues or, Henry usage, I guess, at the end of the game. But we're nitpicking. Overall, when you take Monken's 3-year sample size, it's way more good than bad. Way more. You know what I mean? Like, you're talking about historic offensive seasons last year. And then on the defensive side of the ball, it is the opposite of that. It is like the worst direction we could have possibly been in. And, I think Zach Orr is a bigger issue from a coordinator aspect. But it keeps coming back to John Harbaugh, though. We're 18 years in. We ain't been in the Super Bowl since 2012. It's 2026, man. Like,
right.
I think if 8-9 ain't the wake up, I know it's hurting, man. It's hurting. We're all hurting, but 14 years is a long time. Like, everyone think what you were doing in 2012, man. That's the last time we were in the Super Bowl,
dude. I know, man. I was probably a freshman in high school.
That's crazy.
But dude, I forgot to even mention, like, the first year with Todd Monken, Lamar had a career high in completion percentage. And by the way, every single season that Lamar's had Todd Monken as his coordinator, he's had over a 102 passer rating. The previous 3 seasons with Greg Roman, he didn't crack 100. So I don't know, man. That to me, I would keep Todd Monken around unless they're firing John Harbaugh.
Right. Then you might have a whole new staff. Yeah.
Right. And then you may have there's some guys out there that I would love to bring in as a head coach, man.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
There's some young coordinators out there. There's Kubiak, right? Who's had some success. And we also have on Mike McDonald's offensive coordinator. What's his name? Let's see here.
Clint Kubiak.
So there's 2 Kubiaks right now that are coordinators in the NFL, but Clint is the one that's the offensive coordinator for Seattle. And then I think it's Mike LaFleur is the Rams offensive coordinator. And to me, just the idea, like the excitement of being able to have an offensive-minded head coach with John Harbaugh and Derrick Henry would be really exciting. Like, especially guys coming from that, like, Sean McVay, Shanahan type of tree where every single year it feels like they have a top 3 offense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to have an offensive-minded head coach, I would love to see that. Can you imagine what Andy Reid could have done with Lamar and Henry? So yeah, and then there's some guys on some defensive names as well.
But I feel like most of the defensive guys are making some of the top ranking lists. When you look at available head coaches on different, I've been looking around different sites. It's a lot of D coordinators like Vance Joseph for the Broncos, Chris Shula for the Rams.
Dude,
Anthony Weaver's an interesting one in Miami who has also been here, and I love
yeah,
dude, every time he spoke, like, it was like
he
it
got you
came
going.
through. Yeah, it came through, man. It cut
Yeah,
through. So, like, Anthony Weaver's a sneaky name. I've been seeing him getting some head coach interviews, and I'm like, "That could work." I know
yeah,
it's not the offensive coordinator theory that you wanted, but I'm just saying, like, that's an interesting name.
yeah. Offensive or defensive coordinator, I'd be fine with.
Yo, you just yeah, I got you. Just somebody with some more football knowledge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want
not
someone who
yeah,
can call plays
yeah.
and
Yeah,
scheme it up. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Again,
yeah.
especially against division rivals, bro. You know what's embarrassing? What's really embarrassing is since 2020, the Steelers are 10-3 against the Ravens, including the playoffs. And they're 8-1 straight up as underdogs. So when the Ravens are favored to win, when they're supposed to win, they're 8-1 against us. And the Ravens have outgamed the Steelers in 8 of those 13 games. However, Pittsburgh has won the turnover battle in 8 of those 13 games. And Pittsburgh continues to find a way to beat us despite the gap in talent. It's like, I don't know, Mike Tomlin, he finds a way to keep it gritty. He's at an open
Their
comment.
coaching's not even, like, crazy smart and strategic either, in my
Yeah.
opinion. You know what I mean? Like, that their fans complain about the same, like, negligence. But yeah, they're coming through. Yeah, but, I mean, I agree with you, though. I want somebody that knows football at a very high level and is like a film junkie and can have some really smart game plans and have these guys prepared. I feel like we were underprepared coming into the season. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know. I wish we could have like watched every second of training camp or
I
something because
know.
during training camp it felt positive for the most part. You heard some O-line issues for sure, which is not a surprise. We kept the same O-line as last year. Like I wasn't
Yeah.
surprised by that, but overall it was like, all right, man, we got a squad, right? And then man, they felt underprepared coming into the season. Like that 1-5 start, like what do you think? Is there anything to a lackadaisical like off season, or do you just think it was like game week by week underprepared, or do you think they kind of came into the season without that momentum, or maybe Buffalo sucked it all out of them so quick and they didn't have what I mean, enough toughness to bounce back right away.
Yeah, I think
I don't
that
know.
Buffalo game really kind of took the wind out of their sails. Like, and I think like when you're a Super Bowl favorite, obviously the players in the locker room know that and they feel that. They saw they were just in the divisional round last year and should have, went to the AFC Championship possibly if Mark Andrews catches that pass. And the expectations are high. And I wonder if there is that aspect of like, yeah, we're going to be good again. We're going to be right back in it. In 2023, you were in the AFC Championship, 2024 divisional round, and then you're thinking, oh, we're Super Bowl favorites. We're going to be right back there. And then you don't even make the playoffs. Like, I wonder how much of that was preparation. It's weird though, because John Harbaugh, it feels like in years past, usually would get off to a pretty decent start. In season openers, he was like had a ridiculous record there for a while. But the last few years, I think, okay, in 2024, we started off 0-2. Remember, we lost in Kansas City, the whole Isaiah Likely toe thing. Then we lost against the Raiders with
Raiders.
Gardner Minshew. So
Yeah.
we were 0-2, and then so yeah, you're right, Ryan. In back-to-back seasons, we start 0-2 and 0-2, which went on to 1-5. So
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's this lack of preparation even to start the year, which is odd. I'm not saying it's always been that way for Harbaugh's 18-year career or anything, but recently it's like, why are we so underprepared coming into the season? It used to be kind of just big games, but even that's not an excuse, man. We trying to win Super Bowls or not, you know what I mean? We need to be
yeah,
I want to have a team that's playing smarter and more prepared than anyone else. So like
yeah,
we're not even close to that right now. Let's get to a super chat right here. Appreciate all you guys coming through.
yeah.
Sweaty with the 5. Thank you so much. Harbaugh's doubled down on or that's on him. He can't scapegoat now. Remember the Monken drama when the offense was top 5 and defense was 32nd. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. We talked about that. We were like, what are we why are we on Monken right now?
hit
Like
piece.
whenever
Is that this like the Sun article when they were saying the players were all like, and there were anonymous quotes about Monken's the issue?
I think so, but I think at some point even earlier in the season, John Harbaugh was pretty critical of Monken and
Yeah.
like didn't say anything about Zach Orr.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
and
one of the Henry usage games, I think, earlier on. And he was kind of, putting it on Monken, but wasn't having the same accountability.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't get it. I don't think everyone needs to be accountable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not to repeat what we were just saying, but Monken to me is the least of the issues
Yeah.
on the entire coaching staff. So I don't know, man. We'll see. There is one positive. There's one positive, and that is that we have the 14th pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Which is pretty sick.
I mean, bro, we talked about this the last time we had the 14th overall pick. We ended up with Kyle Hamilton.
Kyle, yeah.
And
Yeah.
but I mean, I'd say that one worked out pretty good. But I told you, Ryan, I was like, hey, if we miss the playoffs, good news is we get a top 18 draft pick, right? But if we make the playoffs, hey, we got something to root for. We got more meaningful football. And I don't know about you. I love the draft. I'm kind of excited to start looking at some of the prospects and then also start looking at like free agent names and stuff. But speaking of that, when it comes to free agency, they got some work to do as far as the offensive line.
Here's our free
position.
agent.
Yeah, let's see him, Ryan. Draymond, that would be a welcome back addition, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Draymond, too, since we did not make the playoffs, that deal does stay as a 5th round pick and does not turn to a 4th. He fulfilled his sack obligation, but also in that a conditional 4th rounder was that we had to make the playoffs. So we are officially sending a 5th round to the Titans, not a 4th, which actually is quite a big difference now that we're picking 14th in the 4th round.
Yeah. Hey, man, that is a big difference. That's like, 4th round versus a 5th round is pretty significant, man.
Yeah.
I am Randy J says we must invest in the trenches. And
100%.
Speaking of trenches, we were actually dead last in offensive line spending this year, 2025. We were 30th in edge spending. So 2 sides of those trenches were just
probably the weakest part of our team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like it shows
28th in wide receiver spending. I didn't have a problem with that because I thought the plan for Zay Flowers, DeAndre Hopkins, Rashad Bateman was a pretty solid plan. And the receivers really weren't the issue this year. I think most people can agree on that. It was the lack of time to get the ball to the receivers, right? And then we were pretty much everywhere else on our roster. We're top half of the league in spending, but the top neglected spots were the offensive line and the edge position.
That should go up quite a bit on the O-line if/when, because I think we pay Tyler Linderbaum.
Yeah, we have to.
There's no way you let him walk. Yeah, that's the biggest unrestricted free agent that we have. There's obviously important guys like, Draymond Jones, Isaiah Likely. Like there's important names on this list. There's quite a bit of free agents here, but I don't think any are bigger than Tyler Linderbaum.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree, man. Especially like you already have too many other variables. You can't let your center walk because you don't
guy,
right. You pretty much right now, if you bring back Linderbaum, you have a proven left tackle, right tackle, and center. That's a great core to your offensive line. And then you got to figure out right guard and left guard. And you can't just rely on Emory Jones and a draft pick. No way.
Yeah.
No way.
You need competition there. It might be Emory, but you need competition there.
Exactly. Yeah. And as far as that right guard spot, I'd like to see it solidified by a vet, like a Dalton Risner or, a Kevin Zeitler or someone like that is going to be at least an average to above average starter. There's Batonio. He's a free agent from the Browns. Wyatt Teller. There's some names out there that could come in and be a plug and play starter on that right guard spot, and then maybe have Emory play at the left guard spot, and then have more competition from the draft. But to me, it's like minimum you have to sign at least one free agent.
Yeah, and draft 2 plus.
Right.
Yeah. No, I agree.
We haven't drafted offensive line particularly well.
Yeah, Linderbaum was the last first round investment, right? Ronnie
Yeah.
obviously was a first round investment. Roger was a second round investment. We totally whiffed on the Ben Cleveland pick.
Missed on. He was a third round pick.
Third round pick. Yeah, it was pretty much like the Emery, we'll see. Obviously, I love Emery's potential, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
it was the
Tyree
same
Phillips.
investment. Yeah, Phillips was fourth, I believe.
Yeah, he
Maybe
was a third or a fourth round pick.
Yeah.
And then we had Falele, third round pick.
He's a free agent. He's on this list. I don't think we're re-signing him, but
another one of the guards we drafted this year is not even. I think it was Garrett Dellinger. He's not even on the roster.
That was a 7th round pick. Yeah, he went to Cleveland's practice squad over ours. We tried to keep him, but I guess he didn't see an avenue to playing time. Voorhees will be on the roster. I don't think that he'll be starting, but to me, that's still decent depth. You know what I mean? Like going into if you have a left guard you love next year and Voorhees is your backup, that's not the worst place to be. Like I Voorhees has, gotten enough experience over these last 2 years. I don't love the fact of him having to start, but I'm saying if worst case scenario, if that's your backup guard, it's not it's not terrible.
It's a solid floor to have for
Yeah.
sure. But like you said, got to have more competition.
Way better. Yeah.
And it can't be like your plan A. Can't be. It just can't be. It's not.
And we need to think about drafting a left tackle replacement because I mean, there's not much longer here with Ronnie. Like this year for sure. I'm not saying this season, but I'm just saying the contract, we can get out of it after this year. He's obviously aging. Like how long do we keep Ronnie, for another 3 years, or is this like this year and we move on? You have to start thinking about it at least. Maybe they want to develop Vincent. We haven't seen a lot of him. He's a project, but he'd have to develop a lot for me to be comfortable to be like, in 2027, Carson Vincent, you're starting left tackle. Like I'm like, I don't, you know what I mean? It's a quick jump. So
yeah, for sure.
We just have to think about that though. So if there's a elite tackle that can play guard for a year earlier in the draft, maybe we take a stab. You know what I mean? Okay, this guy's going to start at left guard, but the following year he's probably bumping the tackle and he can play both really well.
Yeah. One of the things I'm really intrigued about here, a few of them really, with the free agency. First of all, Isaiah Likely, to me, bring him back, bro.
Dude. Man, you were reminded in that play, right? Like that clutch 4th down conversion. It was just like screamingly obvious to me. Like, and I wasn't like completely hating on the Mark Andrews deal, but I was if it meant we lose Likely, and it's felt more and more like we're gonna lose Likely, and it's like a slap in the face after like watching this dude come through in the clutch like that. I'm like, no, like we have to keep Likely.
Yeah,
he comes through, man. He went up and high pointed that ball over Ramsey on 4th and 7 for the game.
Yep. I'm telling you what, he's the guy that I would trust right now to make a play over anybody else on the Ravens.
Yeah, I agree, because he can go up and get it. Like Zay's a big weapon too, but you're not throwing a jump ball for him to high point with the game on the line.
And he's proven it time and time again. It's not just like 1 or 2 games. It's several times where it's like you have to have it or you're toast. Like he shows up. Or you have to have it or your season, you go home. I mean, that's the type of, like he did that in Buffalo last year. You have to have it or you go home. Against Pittsburgh last year, you have to have it or you may not have the number 1 seed or possibly miss the playoffs. And then against Kansas City on primetime to open up the year in 2024, he had a monstrous day. And ice in his veins, he caught the game winner, in my opinion. It sucks that his toe was out, right? But he just shows that he'll make those plays in those big moments. I don't understand if the idea was we're extending Mark without bringing back Likely. I don't get that. I think that's a major error. But
how can you not see that?
Yeah, I don't know, man. The only thing I can think of, like the only thing that would make sense is that like Eric DaCosta saw the same thing and then tried to go talk to his agent, and his agent was like, "No, we're testing the market." And like Eric's like, "Well, I need to extend somebody before they hit free agency. I need to have some continuity at the tight end position because I have 3 pending free agents at the tight end position. So if you don't want to negotiate with me, I'm going to have to extend Mark." I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. Or they already have talked to other teams, and there are teams out there that are willing to pay him like stupid money. But I would still pay him stupid money. Like, I think he's capable. I've said this before. I think he's capable of being like wide receiver 2
Yeah.
behind Zay Flowers, like the second target.
And
Like whenever he actually gets that many targets, that many opportunities as the tight end 1 in an offense, I think he could be a really dangerous, like 1,000-yard type of receiver. That may sound like crazy to some people, but
no, the talent's there. He
yeah,
needs the volume. And that's
yeah,
why I would understand. I don't want this to happen, but I would understand if that is what happened and him and his agent are like, "Hey, we want to actually like sign with a team, even if it's for the exact same amount of money that Mark got.
yeah,
We want to sign with a team where Isaiah Likely is the number 1 tight end, on Carolina or KC or Washington or whoever like needs a tight
yeah,
end. Like they're going to feed Likely and he's the guy because
yeah,
on the Ravens with Mark back, at least, I mean, we can get out of that Mark deal. It's not as long as the extension is. We can get out of it after this season. So it's not super long term, really. We're not tied to it. But also, the volume's not going to quite be there when you still have Mark there. Like
yeah,
Isaiah, and we kind of thought that was going to separate itself this year, and it didn't. I remember coming into this season, I was like, "This is the year Isaiah gets all the volume," and it for some, you know what I mean. It's still the same.
yeah. Yeah, I agree, man. I there To me, it's like the same conversation that we were having around Keaton Mitchell earlier in the season. We're like, how does the coaching staff not see this? That when he touches the football, good things happen, and that he's too talented to be an inactive, a healthy scratch. Like, what are we doing? Arch the Bucks super chat. Thank you for the super. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Says trade Andrews 14th pick for a rusher and sign Likely. Hey, Ryan, I don't know about you, man, but I would absolutely trade Mark Andrews and the 14th overall pick for Max Crosby.
Crosby, yeah, who is
I
allegedly available. I say
Hey,
allegedly because it's
I
just
would.
rumors, but yeah,
I've been waiting and begging and just crying. Like, how long has it been since we've had a dominant edge rusher, Ryan? Like, dude,
sucks.
we could have like Aaron Rodgers was back there making pancakes, bro. Like, he had so much time, and the scheme doesn't
And
do
we're in
that.
soft coverage too. Like,
And,
and there's a short, wide open throw. Yeah, yeah. It's
and then Calvin
like
Austin goes down the sideline like wide open, like you're playing
yeah.
catch in practice.
We're
Like,
gonna be able to dissect the reads downfield and see if we got a shot, and then also get back to the low read and take the safe option too, all without being touched. Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy, dude. Well, speaking of these free agents, what is your thoughts on the whole deal with Ardarius Washington and Alohi Gilman? Because there's no way they keep
We
both,
got to
right?
pick. Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
We got to pick. And it's gonna my opinion is we sign AD, even though he's coming off a rough game.
I agree.
Like I think this would have been more of an obvious thing to say like a few weeks ago, but after the Pittsburgh game yesterday, people are kind of hard on our Darius right now too. He bit on that one route, went over his head. He missed a tackle. Like it wasn't the greatest game. He came in for Kyle, obviously trying to make something happen. But yeah, we do have to pick, and I just love the way our Darius plays. He also has made so many plays in every opportunity essentially that he's got over these last few years. He's definitely dealt with a ton of injuries. That is a question mark. So I don't
Yeah,
think there's going to be a huge contract there, but I would pick our Darius. I just think
yeah,
that he's a playmaker. He's a dog, man. And nothing against Gilman. I think Gilman's safe. He's solid, but our Darius is the guy who's going to lay his body on the line and make those tackles that I've seen Gilman, missing some tackles, and he doesn't play with the same fire that Ardarius does, but Gilman is smart. I don't want to take that
Yeah.
away from him. Like I do think that he can
Yeah.
stabilize things.
I wouldn't be mad if Alohi came back, but
Yeah.
as far as like roster construction and like being strategic with your salary cap, like you were saying, like Ardarius is not going to cost much because of the injury history and because he didn't put much on tape this year.
Right.
He's still only 26 years old. He could come back for like, I think, under $5 million.
Yeah, which why wouldn't you want that?
Right. But Alohi Gilman is going to get paid, that 8 to 15 range, depending on how desperate teams get in free agency. And I think you could use that money for other guys that you want to extend, like Tyler Linderbaum, like maybe a Draymond Jones.
Yeah.
If it's like pick Alohi Gilman or pick AD and Draymond,
It's not even a question. It's
not
AD
even a
and
question,
Draymond.
right?
Yeah, 100%.
And I know Draymond will cost a little bit. He'll probably be in that 10 mil range. He had a pretty good season, but I thought he was a good scheme fit here with Baltimore. And quite frankly, the Ravens don't have a lot of proven vets. Like I think, in my opinion, I think Kyle Van Noy's played his last snap as a Raven.
Yeah, there's something going on behind the scenes too. He even said it today. In his exit interview, he didn't say what, but he was saying like personally, this has been a rough year for me with a lot going on behind the scenes here, and we're not being on the same page with things. And I was like, what's that exactly mean? Is it just contract related? Maybe he thought he was worthy of an extension. Organization didn't give him an extension. So is it just that? Is it like disagreement with defense? Because Kyle Van Noy is a smart defensive football player. Like
he is
older vet, knows the game though. You know what I mean? And like that's kind of where my head went at first. I was like, is there just some kind of disagreement with like how everything's going? I don't know. But he said there's something going on behind the scenes throughout this season. It's been a tough year. And yeah, he's an older free agent. Are the Ravens going to bring him back? I don't think so either.
I don't think he's worth it, man, unless it's like a vet min. I mean, he
just extended John Jenkins to that $2 million.
Yeah. I mean, he was 74th out of 114 edge rushers and pressures. He had a 60 overall grade according to PFF. He's going to be, I think, 35 next year. I didn't see enough from him this year. I saw some good pass rushes last year that he showed you enough to come back this year, but I didn't see enough this year to bring him back next year, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I agree. I wouldn't mind bringing back D-Hop on a cheap deal.
I agree.
Obviously, Linderbaum, lock him up. Pat Ricard, I wouldn't mind bringing back on a cheap deal.
Yeah.
I mean, these are guys that are going to play a role. Tylan Wallace is probably gone. They started to have him inactive. I just feel like his role did not expand at all. He's came through for us in the past, but I mean, this year, I did not hear Tylan Wallace's name much at all this entire season.
Tez Walker got the opportunity whenever Bateman was out more than Wallace. So,
and in a different skill set. I mean, Tez is actually bringing a lot of speed and explosiveness to this team. He scored a big touchdown in that Steelers game as well.
Yeah. I think did we get another super? I think
we got a few here. Yeah, I'll get caught up. Let's see. Sweaty, this one's a little bit older, but appreciate you with the 2, man. He said Harbaugh made those same week as article. Yeah, okay. It's what we were talking about earlier with the Todd Monken hit piece and Harbaugh press after, where he kind of put it on Monken, but not taking accountability. Yeah, no doubt. Arch. Oh yeah, we read that one. Wap likely was out with the foot. It's why he didn't get reps. Yeah, no, for sure. I get that's why it's slow rolled the season, but like it didn't seem to pick up though. Like we weren't feeding likely like a tight end one. Maybe in some bigger moments, I guess towards the very end of the season, like the Bengals game comes to mind. He was getting more volume. But I just felt like even after coming back from that foot injury, like he was just going to be more involved, and really nobody got a high volume in this offense besides Zay.
Yeah. Zay Flowers had himself quietly a 1,200-yard season, Ryan.
Oh yeah, I mean he was the guy that we were going to.
Yeah,
consistently. So
he's eligible for a contract extension now.
Yeah, we'll have to make a decision on the 5th-year option, which went up to 28 million now since he made his second Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
But that's what the contract's going to cost anyway, right? If you want to extend them. So
Right.
I'd forget the 5th-year option for me, unless you're just trying to buy time. But I don't like those because you can't move the cap number around.
Yeah.
And if it's an expensive 5th-year option like Zay's will be, it doesn't always make the most sense. We did do the 5th-year option for Kyle Hamilton because the safety number is so much lower. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It
Right.
made sense. It's like, oh, Kyle's going to get a bigger contract than this 5th-year option. So let's pick up the 5th, buy us some time, and we still extended Kyle. The
Right.
Zay situation, like, just extend him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you're going to be able to pay him 28 million a year, but the cap hit could be 13. Like
Yeah.
you can absorb the blow here.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. That's definitely a good point. I was curious of like what the top paid receivers are making average per year. Jamar Chase is at 40, Jefferson's at 35, CD's at 34, DK 32. And then Terry McLaurin and like T. Higgins are in that 29, 28 range. Jalen Waddle, 28. I think that, and that's probably where Zay Flowers will be.
Yeah,
In
right
that
there.
range.
Yeah, like 30 million ish. You know what I mean? Little less, little like, yeah, it's which is what the 5th-year option costs, 28 million. So
Yeah.
it's just extend them if you're going to extend them. You know what I mean? If you want to keep Zay here, which I don't think is a bad idea at all. Like we have another huge hole if we lose Zay Flowers, and he obviously has a great connection with Lamar. He seems to be getting better too, man. Like
Yeah.
I just I think we should extend him, but yeah, let's get caught up on these other ones too. Not a chance you read this. I like that name. Uh, thank you for the 2. Did you hear Marlon's presser talked about Tomlin? I didn't catch him talking about Tomlin. Did you catch that, Noah?
Yeah. He said something along the lines like Tomlin told him that he could still be a great player in this league. Like he kind of encouraged him. And
Oh,
I instantly thought of the whole Mike Tomlin, Patrick Queen situation
oh,
where
like
like,
slowly recruiting.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, he was like, "You're not a Raven," and he was like, "You're basically you're a Steeler, bro. Come on over with us." And like recruited. There were several players, Malik Harrison. Who else went over at Wormley?
Sean Elliott ended up
Sean
getting
Elliott.
there. Chuck Clark's they signed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, instantly I was like, "Bro, are they like watch Marlon Humphrey go over there and have like a revived, you know, career?"
year at safety.
Yeah.
They like put him at safety, and he thrives for 2
Yeah.
years or
I mean,
something. I
he's
mean,
really physical. Like
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
could
yeah.
see him having success as a safety still.
But he's been struggling in coverage. Like,
Yeah.
there's no doubt about it. He's almost getting picked on. Like, it's not as bad because Marlon's got a lot more playmaking ability and experience, but it was just
Yeah.
I felt like teams were picking on him like Stevens. It was like,
Yeah.
dude,
Stevens.
like Marlon's like the guy that that's crazy. Like Marlon Humphrey's the guy that is the weak link right now. And then
Yeah.
obviously Awuzie didn't have his best game in that Pittsburgh game either. I
Yeah.
thought Awuzie had a strong year, but man, he
Dude,
let
it felt like just yesterday where Marlon Humphrey was like, you take him toe to toe with any receiver in the league.
that's what
Like
I mean. Like you
I
had
remember when he
confidence.
was
He was
like,
a great corner.
yeah. Dude, I remember when he was going like toe to toe with like what's his name, bro? DeAndre Hopkins. Whenever he was with the Texans. I remember when he was going toe to
AB.
toe.
Not
Antonio
that he shut him
Brown.
down, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, they went
And
at it,
even when
though. Like,
like
it did a solid job.
yeah, and even when like the Bengals first drafted Jamar Chase, I was like, hey, we got Marlon Humphrey. We'll be all right. But kind of slowly falling off a little bit. And yesterday to see him get beat by Adam Thielen, who's like 35, that was kind of painful. He had him like in coverage. He was tight in the hip pocket, but didn't get his head around. And it was like a perfect throwing catch
It
from
was.
Aaron
No,
Rodgers.
it was a great throw. And obviously, you're going to let up a play here and there. And if it was just that play all year, I would be like, oh, we're overreacting. But
Yeah.
Marlon has let up way too much this season.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing. He's due $26 million next year. There's no way he's coming
But
back.
there's some nasty dead cap money because we restructured his deal this year and added 3 void years.
Yeah.
So we're paying Marlon and dead cap money regardless.
Yeah.
Like for years. We went aggressive with these void years and everybody was like, good, like salary money's fake. And like, let's just keep being aggressive and sign everybody. And we kept adding void years. It really started with like the Odell contract. It just like everybody, Ronnie's deals got void years. Marlon's deals got void years. Like we were really stacking them up to get everyone back and have breathing room. And now we're gonna have to pay some serious dead cap money over the next few years. And
Bisciotti said he wanted to win one. He was tired of waiting.
Well, they completely backfire. We're not in the playoffs.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. For me, it feels like there has to be change, Ryan. Like
no, there does.
There has to be change after your back-to-back years where you're heading it like Super Bowl favorite type of team, back-to-back years, and you fall short. It's not okay. There's got to be changes.
No, I completely agree, man. Wicked sent through 5, man. Appreciate you. The sloppy tackling cost us. Should have had tackles for losses. There were stops to be had on several third downs and so many yards after contact. Completely agree, man. The tackling has been inconsistent throughout the season, but it really showed up in that Pittsburgh game last night. I was frustrated that we were not able. It felt like Warren was just turning his legs and like nobody could bring him down. And I'm just like, who wants it, man? Like, you know what I mean? Like there is a part like I obviously we think Zach Orr has had them underprepared and not having the best game plans for 2 years now, and there should be changes. I agree, but also somebody got to step up out there as well. Like I also am seeing a little bit of like a lack of attack from guys not named Kyle Hamilton. You know what I mean? Like Kyle Hamilton's the guy who is disrupting plays like that. As soon as he goes off the field, I'm like, there's no disruptor. Like nobody's blowing plays up. You know what I mean? And I don't know if I'm a player out there, I don't even care what the call is. I'm gonna go make something happen. Just like you just like attack. You like it's for everything.
Yeah. Where's Roquan Smith, man?
Feels like he's solid, but like not playing up to a $30 million contract. He's not one of the best linebackers in the league. I don't think he's like hurting us, but he is from a contractual standpoint. Like financially, he's hurting us.
He's a $32 million cap hit in 26.
So is Matabike. That's what I mean. We're paying an enormous amount of money, even if we move on. Like, and if you trade them, I feel like their caps are so big, like Marlon and Roquan, that you're gonna get a 6th round pick or something. You're gonna have a 5th round pick. You're not getting anything crazy.
Well, and then if you trade them or you cut them, you still got you. Then you're gonna have a massive hole at inside linebacker. Yeah. So then you're gonna need what? You're gonna have Teddy step up, be the starting, green dot, and then Trenton Simpson be the mic, or the Will next to the mic. You know what I mean?
Got to add something else.
Yeah.
Unless we bring in an absolute defensive genius.
32 million just seems pretty steep. Like,
I know. Looking at all of our top cap. All of our top contracts, like a lot of those guys are guys that like aren't having the impact they should be. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not saying Lamar, I'm not saying Kyle, but Roquan, Matabike, obviously. I know you can't control the injury, but like I'm just talking from a cap hit perspective. It's gonna kill us. Yeah. And then Roquan, Marlon, like those are huge numbers. Those are the highest paid players on our team.
Yeah. Yep. And your highest paid players have to be your best performing players for it to work, right?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Kevin sent through 2. Appreciate you. Talk me off the ledge. This hurts. Where's the silver lining? What do you got, Noah?
Well, the silver lining is, yes, it did hurt, but let's be real, Ryan. Let's be real. As much as it is possible, right? If the Ravens got in the dance, it was possible for Lamar Jackson to be Superman and for Derrick Henry to go nuts and for us to go on a run. It was possible. But with the deficiencies at the offensive line this year and the lack of pass rush, what was our odds of actually winning it all? Probably not very high, because you saw Lamar Jackson was Superman yesterday. Derrick Henry had over 100 yards, and you still found a way to lose. So this team, if it's getting beat by 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers, wasn't probably going to make it past the first round against the best defense in the NFL with the C.J. Stroud-led Texans, D'Amico Ryans. Their defense is absolutely crazy. I think they're going to blow out Pittsburgh. But the silver lining is you didn't get in the playoffs as much as that was painful, but then you still get a top 14 draft pick. Your draft picks are higher in the second, third, fourth, all the way through the draft. And it also makes you really hone in and want to look for change. Like if the Ravens got in and won a playoff game or something, do you think there was going to be real change? I don't know, but I think you missing the playoffs, even probably after you weren't going to do anything, if you got in with this roster, then you're looking for change. The microscope comes out to look for change, and then also you get a higher draft pick, which every time the Ravens have a top 14 draft pick, they end up with some dogs. I mean, you can look back at the history. We're talking about players like Ogden, Terrell Suggs, Kyle Hamilton's, Lewis's, Nadas. Yeah, those type of dudes whenever they have top draft picks. So, yeah, that's the silver lining in my opinion.
No, I think, I'll echo the ending there, man. The silver lining is that we were just bad enough to have real change. And whether that happens from a head coach standpoint or not, we don't know. But I think regardless, it's such a wake-up call that you can't just run it back. It's not, but also the foundation's still there. You know what I mean? Like, unless all these crazy rumors are true and we trade Lamar Jackson, which I just cannot see happening. But like, we have Lamar Jackson for years. Yeah. We have Kyle Hamilton. There is a foundation of superstars that we just need to build around. And I don't think we're that far away if we attack the trenches. The coaching needs to improve. We need to, clean house, at least from some aspect of that. It's obviously not good enough, but I'm just saying, yeah, I agree. 8-9 is bad enough. That's the silver lining. We're still a good team. It's just, we performed bad enough, missed the playoffs, that there's going to enact aggressive change. And I'd be shocked if there's not aggressive change this offseason.
I would too. In fact, if there's not aggressive change, I'm going to be pretty disappointed. I was a Ravens fan. Obviously, whoever's the coaching staff and whoever's out there, I'm rooting for them. But
yeah,
I think, my personal opinion, I would like to see a new head coach. I think it's time for change. It doesn't feel like that's going to happen, Ryan. Doesn't feel like that's going to happen.
Early reporting, but we're only one day in. Yeah, I think it doesn't feel that way too because of the reporting and also the fact that there's been 6 total head coaches fired. I think like 4 were very recently, and none of those obviously are us. So like people are like, well, every other team's moving on and starting interviews. If you're gonna move on, it's gonna happen very soon, which I do agree. The feeling is that the head coach doesn't change right now, but that there's going to be coordinator changes. Could that be enough? Potentially, I guess, but like, I don't know. It's scary.
Yeah.
It's hard to have like an insane amount of confidence in it until it's almost like
after all the heartbreakers.
If we keep Harbaugh and let's say we just like keep Monken and let's say we hire a defensive coordinator, right? Like, I don't know, we go get Jim Schwartz or some defensive coordinator.
Brian Flores or
I don't know if they'll want to do a lateral move, but you might want to come to the Ravens. Yeah. So if we just hired a defensive coordinator, I'm going to be in wait and see mode. Like, I don't know if I'm just pumped about that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I'm like rolling in the off season, like, yes, we made the right moves. Even if we add to the trenches, which is huge. If we build a fortress in front of Lamar, we're going to score some points, man. He's going to be the best player on the planet. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
But from a coaching perspective, if you only make like a defensive coordinator change or something, I'll be in wait and see mode. I don't know. Yeah. I'm like, you got to go out there and play some incredible defense for a season. You know what I mean? Right. Like, we need to see this work.
I agree.
Yeah. All right. Let's catch up on these other ones. Yeah. CB, appreciate you with the 2. Trade Bateman for draft. Keep Tez to replace him. I don't know what Bateman's worth. What are we fetching off that? He's on a very cheap deal. I hear you with like the involvement in the offense and stuff, but he's on a very affordable deal coming off one of his worst seasons.
Yeah.
What's his draft capital?
I don't know, man. Probably in that 5th, 6th range.
So is that worth it? Or would you rather just have Bateman as depth? Maybe
I'd
we
probably
like,
I'd probably rather keep Bateman and hope that him and Lamar get on the same page like we saw season ago. Hope we can revive that
yeah, that's kind
because
of where I am.
yeah, I mean, I've seen some really, really good stuff out of Bateman and also like some like just no impact, no idea. Like, I don't know, Bateman, I've always been high on since we drafted him. And then he's battled injuries throughout his career. Um, but I mean, what we saw out of Bateman last year, I mean, was really, really good. I mean,
Special, man.
700 and something yards,
His
9
route running
touchdowns.
separation was elite.
Yeah. But I think with the offensive line drop off and then the Lamar injuries, it just like didn't work out timing wise with him and Bate. But Bateman is like he's actually the same age as Zay Flowers. He's still really young. So I could if we were to trade Bateman to like, I don't know, if he were to go to like Kansas City or the Detroit Lions or the Vikings or I don't know, like any other team, I feel like he would have a lot of success. Like he's capable of it with in the right system and getting on the same page with the quarterback. But I'd probably rather keep him than get a 5th round pick.
Yeah, that's where I'm at just because of the contract value and not being able to get a top pick. But I do think we would trade him if he asked for it because
Yeah.
we've done that. We've done that in the past. If Bateman's not happy, which I don't know, I don't know him, but I'm just saying, like, he might not be. He's been here for a while and only had that 1 year. And like, if he's not happy and he's like, hey, I just want a new environment, I think Eric DaCosta honors that. And probably, yeah, we don't get much for him, but that would be the way we would trade him. I don't think it's
Yeah.
going to be something the Ravens actually want to do because he's just on a cheap deal and he
Yeah.
has talent.
It would be cool to see more Tez though.
Yeah, I think we will. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Tez is definitely growing. You know what I mean? I think that is a player that is going to have an even bigger role next year. We definitely need to get him involved more. Once he have 6 catches the entire season, 4 of them are touchdowns. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Like,
Yeah.
dude's playing, man. Aiden, appreciate you with the 2. Imagine Ray Lewis as D or even head coach. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind Ray Lewis on this coaching staff in some capacity. Every time he talks to the guys, they get fired up, man. Even if it was just a linebackers coach to start or something,
Yeah.
man, I feel like that would be cool.
Yeah. The way that Ed Reed got the guys going.
Yeah. And then, like, I remember Ray he was walking out of the tunnel in week 2 with Roquan, and he's like in his ear, and he's like 60 minutes. It was right after the Buffalo loss where we just blew a big lead and everything. He's like 60 minutes, like lead these boys, lead them. And he's like talking to him. And then Roquan goes and has a 15 tackle game, and we dominate, and we're running into the ball harder than ever. And they're like, and I remember Mike Green's like, we need a Ray Lewis speech before every game. And I'm just like, man, like obviously that's a missing element. Like, you know what I mean? Because
yeah, that goes back to the whole, is the message in the locker room getting stale?
I think it has to be.
Yeah.
I think that's obvious. Yeah. Even I don't know about you. This is just my personal opinion. Do you watch the Wireds and like the locker room clips? Do you tune into those?
I watch some of like the post game speeches, but I don't usually watch the whole Wired episode.
Okay. But in the locker room, I have noticed a little bit of a not a disconnect, but just a different vibe. And it could be just because of how ugly this season has been. I don't want to say that this is always how it is. And and obviously they were putting in effort. I'm not saying that the guys like weren't trying, but Harbaugh's like giving his speech after the game, even after, you only see the wins really. They don't show you when they lose. So you see the win, and he's giving a speech and everything. And I'm like, I'm not looking at him as much as I'm looking at like how are the guys responding? You know what I mean? Looking at the players and like what's their reaction to what some comment he says or some speech he makes. And I do feel a slight disconnect. And maybe it's just me reading through the internet, but it's just how I'm feeling about it.
I can see that in some of the post game speeches I've seen. It felt like you can tell whenever they're kind of like, whoop, whoop.
Yo, that's what I mean. It's not hitting. They're not on fire.
Like I've seen Harbaugh get the guys on fire. I remember in 2019, the dudes were ready to run through a wall. I remember when he was dancing post game that one time, and the locker room was like going off. Like, I feel like I have seen that before, but lately, like you said, it does feel like it's a little like I don't know, like not that like you said, not that they're not buying in and putting effort, but it's not that like they're lighting their body, soul, and spirit on fire for the team, like just ready to go. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good point.
BBs, thank you with the 5. For what it's worth, my coworker is dating Teddy Buchanan, and he got surgery last Monday. Knee took a while for swelling to go away. Well, thanks for the update, man.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Prayers up for speedy recovery from Teddy. I loved what I saw from him in his rookie season. I think he's got a serious role. He shocked me with how big of a role he had immediately.
I agree. Teddy's going to be a good football player here for some time, I think, man.
Yeah. No, I completely
wouldn't be surprised if like he eventually took over for Roquan, but
yeah, I mean, that's probably the plan at some point, unless we give Roquan an extension. But Roquan's deal's coming up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alex with the 2, appreciate you. Love Monken to head coach and Ed Reed DB coach. That's interesting. That's interesting, man.
I mean, I wouldn't hate it. That's not awful. Like, I don't know, man. I think we got to have some type of change. You don't know if you don't try, but you do know that you have a pretty large sample size. Lamar Jackson has not been to a Super Bowl yet.
No, and outside of that Chiefs year, it's like hasn't even felt that close. Like the team felt good enough during the regular seasons, but I'm saying like, results wise in big games, like only looking at big meaningful games, must win, clutch time games. Yeah, it ain't been good enough.
Yeah,
in a large sample size, no doubt, man. Fade up with the 5. Appreciate you. Fire Zach Orr. I never wish for a man to lose his job. If he does get fired, I hope he gets a job somewhere else. But
I wish him the best, but
the results ain't been there. So I'm with you. The results ain't been there. I think this is coming potentially regardless of John Harbaugh decision.
I agree. I'd be shocked if Zach Orr came back. I'd be shocked and disappointed.
Yeah. We got Buff with the 2. You didn't say anything. If you did want to say something, bro, just drop it in the comments, but we appreciate you.
Thanks for the love.
Nikita with the 10, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you both so much. This sucks, but I'm here to my last breath. Yeah, we're with you, man.
Yep.
We're here too, for better or worse. I can't even root for anyone else. Like I was getting I live streamed the game yesterday and people were like, who are we rooting for now? I'm like, dude, no one, man. I'm in off-season mode. Like I don't even want to watch football anymore.
I know. It does. It feels like that. For me, man, I'm 100% rooting for the Seahawks.
Yeah, that would be the team. Yeah, that would be the team.
First of all, I love me some Mike McDonald, man. And second of all, I kind of want to see like Darnold as like the underdog, like overlooked, was drafted the same draft class as Lamar, had the Jets kind of really did him dirty. And then where did he go after the Jets? He went to the Vikings, had some success, right?
Yeah.
But
he was somewhere else too, right? Like I feel like, he was on the Niners. He was a backup for Purdy, and he was like, it almost felt like he was on the fringe of being out the league. And then, the Vikings signed him. He ended up having a great year. They go to the playoffs. And then Seattle, he's having a great year. Yeah.
There he is, helping lead an offense. It's one of the best offenses in football, to the 1 seed in the NFC. So I'm rooting for the Seahawks. And then if I had to root for an AFC team, I'm rooting for the Texans, man, because I love how the Texans, I'm a Christian and I'm open about my faith. And I love that they're open about their faith. CJ Stroud, D'Amico Ryans. Plus, like, I feel bad for Texans fans. Have they ever been to a Super Bowl? I know they've never won one, but
I don't think so.
I like D'Amico. I like Stroud. I love that they're open about their faith. And I also want to smash and pick against the Texans. So I feel like my AFC team, I'm rooting for the Texans in the playoffs, and the NFC Seahawks. So hopefully we get Texans Seahawks Super Bowl.
Yeah, let's do it, man. BB with the 5. What are your honest thoughts on Brian Flores as the new head coach? What are you thinking, Noah? I think it'd be smart defensive. We'd be good on defense.
Yeah.
And he seems like he'd be a leader of men too. I
Yeah.
mean, he every time I've heard him talk, his message is cutting through, and I also know he understands defense. He's a hard person to go against. Every time we've played against him, it's like, we got a Brian Flores defense to deal with. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I wouldn't hate it. That's for sure. I would, if you had, I hate to say this, but if you had to ask me, like, would you rather the Ravens keep Harbaugh or they move on from Harbaugh and it has to be Brian Flores? What would you pick? I feel like I would probably, just for like the sake of change and the excitement and just seeing what would happen, go with Brian Flores. And
Yeah, we're at that point.
yeah, I just am ready for a new message, a new voice, a new direction. Plus, that would bring fresh personnel with the coordinators, and I think we definitely need an offensive line coaching change. So yeah, I would love to see that, man. But I probably if Harbaugh was going, I'd probably go with Kubiak or LaFleur or what was the defensive coordinator? Shula for the Rams. I'd probably go with one of those young guys who has been under some of these coaches with a lot of success. The Rams and the Niners, I feels like Rams have won a Super Bowl. That coaching staff knows what it takes recently, and they could be very well in a Super Bowl again this year. So, yeah,
I'm with it. Another coaching question here from Nikita. Thank you with the 5, man. What y'all think about somebody like Robert Saleh or Brian Flores as DC waiting in the helm to possibly transition from Harbaugh at some point? Yeah, I mean, if we don't move on from John Harbaugh, we've already said, like, I think we're moving on from a defensive coordinator standpoint. Then let's bring in one of these minds, man.
Yeah.
If they want it, we'd have to give them that promise though, because like, would they take a lateral move? Like, is Brian Flores leaving his situation just to stay at the same position? He'd almost would need like a reassurance, but I don't know if Harbaugh's not giving him that reassurance, right?
Yeah, like, hey, you're gonna come take my job.
Yeah. Hey,
no
you're gonna
way.
be D coordinator for 2 seasons, and then you're gonna take my job. I just don't think Harbaugh's like even close to being done. Like, if we let go of Harbaugh,
the Giants are apparently eyeing Harbaugh. Did you see that? The Giants,
every team would want him.
Yeah, the Giants said that if they're like holding out, I think, for Harbaugh, they're waiting and seeing.
Send us a couple first.
Oh, hey,
yeah,
hey,
we'll
you
take
remember
their
when
first round pick.
Was it remember the whole trade, the head coaching trade situation that we had with Sean Payton?
Payton, yep.
Didn't they give up like
a
legit draft capital?
Yeah. Let's see what it was.
Yeah. I wonder if we could get that type of draft capital.
Yes.
If we could get like a second even for Harbaugh.
It was 2023 first round pick, number 29 overall, and a 2024 second round pick.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, first and second.
Hey, Harbs, you're on the trade block, buddy.
Yeah. Like, honestly, it's not a bad move because I do think, and all the reporting recently has backed this up, Harbaugh would be a hot commodity for the rest of the league. Like, they would and I know we feel differently because, you know, we've been here for 18 going on 19 years, but the rest of the league would want that fresh start and that veteran coach experience and that new voice too. You know what I mean? And Harbaugh would probably cut through at first. Like, I do think, you know, probably some of the big game issues may remain in things, but I also think that he could rally some guys early on another team. So other teams would be interested in acquiring him. And it would be smarter to trade him over just like mutually parting ways if you can get a team
get
to
some capital,
pay up.
bro. Yeah.
And bro, he is what I'm telling you, his name and experience would command what Sean Payton got, right? I mean, you could get a first round pick. That would, dude, we go in with 2 first round picks and one of them's 14, and we got a fresh start.
Hey,
that's exciting.
That would be very exciting. But hey, what's crazy too is we were talking about the draft earlier. The year that we got Kyle Hamilton was also the year that we had 2 first round picks when we traded Marquise Brown, got Tyler Linderbaum in the same draft that night. So, hey, man, if the Ravens get a top 14 pick, you could see some fireworks. You never know, man.
Well, I think this offseason's got to have fireworks, right? Like, there's no way this offseason is a boring, let's run it back.
No. There's going
And
to be
that's
some big changes. We're going to have a lot to talk about on these Monday Lives.
yeah, dude. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, we're gonna keep rolling. We're gonna keep rolling, but
All
yeah.
right. Did we get all the supers?
Yeah, I think so. Let me double
I think
check.
we got another one from
Oh, yeah,
Buff Daddy.
Buff Daddy. I know you're not typing anything on there though. Appreciate you with the 2 though, man. If you
We
do have
do.
something to say, you don't have to pay. Just type it in the chat. Let me see if he did say anything. I haven't been looking at the chat as much. Oh yeah, he did. Harbs is not getting fired, and they will address the O line and D line through the draft. It's the Ravens' way of doing things. This does seem like the most. If I had to put money down on something, this seems like the most likely path. I agree
Most likely
completely.
avenue of approach.
Everyone's going to disagree with it, but it does seem to be what is most likely to happen.
Yeah.
But it's still early. I have no idea. They could announce tomorrow that they've mutually parted ways and we're going a different direction with Harbaugh.
Yeah.
But I agree, Buff Daddy, man. I think I feel you. And addressing the O line and D line is a must, regardless. Like,
Yeah.
and I can't wait to hear. Man, I wish I was asking questions. Not that the reporters do a bad job, but like I wish I was there to ask some questions. The end of the year presser when we get to hear from Eric DaCosta, like, is he going to discuss the decision to basically not make any offensive line changes when we were struggling pretty much the same way the year prior? And it was a little worse this year. It just, it showed through a little worse, but like we had a lot of similar issues the year prior and we just kept the same group and we didn't put a lot of resources into it. I hope he like is transparent about and just accountable, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, hey, that was a mistake. Like, we have to invest into the trenches on both sides of the ball and that we're going to attack that this offseason. Like, it could be as simple as that. I just want some accountability with because I don't think Eric DaCosta's done a bad job overall. Obviously, you're going to miss on draft picks, but by neglecting the trenches, it's like a huge stain in his GM career for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, you got to fix this, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if we just had a wall in front of Lamar, like, let's see what happens.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as you. I think Eric DaCosta has specifically done a great job when it comes to like trades. I feel like he's made a ton of great trades.
Yeah, Hollywood for a first is such a steal.
Yeah, huge steal. Lamar got the most out of Hollywood, that's for sure.
Yeah,
because he has looked nothing like that version of Hollywood anywhere else, whether it was the Cardinals or the Chiefs. But not just getting capital, but also getting guys for like pennies. Like we got Marcus Peters that 1 year for like a 5th round pick, and he balled out for us for a couple years. Calais Campbell, I think we got him for a 6. Unique Ngakoue, that was probably one of our biggest misses because I think we gave like up a 3rd round pick, but then we got like a 3rd round compensatory pick for him walking in free agency. So really, it wasn't that big of a deal. He's got, and Roquan Smith was a great trade addition.
It worked for a while. Yeah, we're starting to feel differently now, but the trade worked. Yeah, it was for a 2nd round pick. You got like the best linebacker, arguably the best linebacker in the league at that time.
For 2 seasons, he balled. But obviously the contract, maybe not so much, but you can't foresee him falling off like that. But I do think Eric DaCosta's done a great job for the most part. The Zay Flowers was a home run draft pick. Kyle Hamilton, Tyler Linderbaum, home run draft picks. Isaiah Likely, home run draft pick. So that's just to name a few.
Yeah. Mad Rasta with the 5. Appreciate you. Will always be a Lamar fan, but done with Ravens. They're very incompetent and have wasted 8 years with dumb mistakes and always outcoached. Yeah, that's why we're screaming for some change. I'm not done with them. I don't agree with that part. I'll never be done, but I get the incompetency issues. I get the dumb mistakes, getting outcoached in big games.
Yeah.
Showed itself more than ever this year. Finished 8-9.
Yeah. Dude, Bengals fans, did you see
keeping everyone?
They're like, we're running it back, baby. No changes.
Yeah.
And
I did see that.
Yeah. My friend's a Bengals fan. He was like, he had another year or 2 on his contract, so they're not gonna, because coaches' contracts are guaranteed, so they're not gonna like just move on and then have to pay another head coach. Certain franchises don't have as much spending luxury, right? Or aren't willing to. And I feel like with the Ravens, they had just extended Harbaugh in March to a 3-year contract extension.
Yep.
So if they do move on, that's going to be all dead money. You're going to be paying Harbaugh and somebody else at the same time. Obviously, that doesn't go on your salary cap, but it's still money that gets paid out from your owner. But I think our owner is willing to spend. I mean, we spend almost to the salary cap every single year. If he really wants change, I think he'll do it. I don't think if he doesn't, it's because of finances. But
Right.
I don't know. Did you see that graphic of like the Raiders, the amount of coaches they still have that they're paying? It was like Antonio Pierce. Man, who was the guys before those? But anyways, they've like it feels like they're fired their head coach like every single year, and they're still paying guys. But
yeah, they have, I think, 4 in the last 5 or something. Yeah, they've changed coaches a lot. Now they just fired Pete Carroll. Yeah, I don't think constant quick turnaround's good, but we're also in a way different spot than that.
Right.
18 years in,
Yeah. I just thought it was funny that
No, it is crazy.
like,
The Bengals running it back.
No changes, like everybody's saying.
Well, that was like my fear with us. I was like, this is out of all years, because we kind of did that last year. I mean, we didn't make any coordinator changes or anything. We didn't add to the offense a lot. We didn't make a lot of changes last year. And this is like the obvious, don't run it back. You know what I mean? You can run. I'm not saying get clean house, but like you need some drastic change for sure.
Yeah.
Alex with the 5. Ed Reed spoke before the Bengals game, 24-0. Fire or ASAP. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. When Reed and Lewis talk to the team, it cuts through. And it's like, I get that they are legendary players and have been there, but there's got to be more to it than that. You know what I mean? That the players are playing with so much extra passion. Like, why can't we have a little bit more consistency with that?
Yeah. Got to see some change, Ryan.
Hopefully we'll know soon. We'll know something soon. Yeah, you don't wait for coaching changes, because you have to start interviewing, and you can literally interview people now. So yeah, you don't wait. Obviously today, I'm not saying don't meet and talk about it. I think Bisciotti and everyone's gonna have to sit down and talk about direction and exactly like what path they all want to take. Maybe Harbaugh's done. Maybe he's like, dude, I need a new start.
Yeah, maybe he's like, maybe he wants to go spend some time with his family, bro.
I think he wants to coach.
He wants to keep going.
I do. He's got like a fire. He's competitive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know it's not showing through in W's right now, but I'm just saying, like, the will's there. It's just lacking a little common sense football in big moments. And like you said, getting a smart coordinator that really knows the game, whether that's defensively or offensively, I think would be a bigger edge.
Yeah.
For us, but we'll see what happens.
We shall see, and we'll be here to talk about it. So,
yes, sir. Yeah. Appreciate all you guys coming through, as always, showing a bunch of love and showing us love on the videos and everything, man. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys.
Yeah,
and we do. Have a great night. You got anything else you want to say, bro?
No, I was just gonna say we're planning on only going for an hour, but the supers kept coming in. We were trying to catch up, and just so much to talk about with the off season upcoming. But yeah,
off season will be exciting.
We love you guys, appreciate y'all, and can't wait to break down some of these off season moves.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, guys, have a great night. We'll see you next week.